Hey, welcome back. On Liquid Lunch, we always talk about the purple people who hear all sides of the story. We do unusual things like actually listen to both Democrats and Republicans. We serve food. We come to you live from the Question Tequila Studios. We serve liquor. And the truth seems to come out when people come into a warm setting. We're right across from the New York Stock Exchange. The Dow gave back some of its morning gains, but now hovering just above 26,000. Bitcoin still around 7,700. And that homey feeling it is when you go to the Casa Belvedere, Staten Island Italian Cultural Foundation, and Gina Biancardi, its executive director, joins us today to tell us all the great things that are going on in the world of fundraising for the organization and running the organization, and even the new addition, Bocce.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little about the foundation, what you guys' mission is there.
Sure. The organization seeks to promote and preserve the Italian heritage, culture, cuisine, fashion, music, art, architecture, you name it, which I believe has so much rich hundreds of years behind us, thousands I should say.
That's right. And
so it's such a rich culture and it should be promoted.
The Casa Belvedere is a beautiful mansion. It's a landmark in New York. It's set on a hill where you can see the New York City skyline and the beautiful Narrows with the Verrazano Bridge spanning it. It's one of the most beautiful sites you will ever see for photos, weddings, a dinner, a proposal, or a bocce tournament. And we were talking about bocce is creeping up as like the #2 fastest growing sport in the world.
I believe it.
And of course, you guys are way ahead of the curve. You started putting in a bocce court like a year and a half ago.
2 years ago, yes.
2 years ago, okay.
It's okay.
I thought I was up
you were
on
close.
my
You were
Casa
close. That's
Belvedere
fine.
Foundation. But you guys actually
You're
have a big
right.
event
Yeah.
coming up. And
Yes.
there is a great, rich, people always think like Staten Islanders are these people on these crazy reality shows, and they don't realize how many successful, how many intelligent, how many inventors came from a Staten Island roots. And you guys try to preserve that, and the word doesn't get out enough about that. Tell us a little bit about some famous Staten Islanders.
Famous Staten Island Italian
Like,
Americans,
Meucci,
Garibaldi, in the recent years.
And even some non-Italians from Staten Island as well, like the inventor of chewing gum, Thomas Adams.
Well, Grimes Hill in particular, which is where Casa Belvedere is located, really does have a rich history. Cornelius Vanderbilt's brother, Jacob Vanderbilt, lived down the block from Casa Belvedere, and also the chewing gum people. Horman Castle, remember Horman Castle?
Sure.
Was knocked down. That was a famous beer company. There's so much history in Staten Island, and of course there's more than 50% Italian population on Staten Island.
Staten Island is the most Italian-American congressional district in the state. It's also the home to a greater percentage of Italian-Americans, I think, than anywhere else in the country. And
exactly.
The proud owner in the Republican primaries of the highest county voting for Donald Trump with 85% of the vote. So it's a pretty smart group out there, other than what you see on these crazy shows.
Yeah, I mean, what's so great about what you do, Gina, is that it's completely non-political, and people can see the breathtaking views at Casa Belvedere, and you just really get a sense of the history that's ever present. And I know the daily battle that you wage to preserve Italian culture and Italian-American culture. But what would you say to those folks that say, look, the reason people came to America is that they wanted to be American.
Right.
And are we in some ways being ethnically divisive by continuing to cling on to the culture of a country that people fled from?
Well, they fled for a reason. That there was poverty. Post-World War II is when my parents came to America. That was 1960. So they really had no choice. There was absolutely no opportunity. Like many immigrant stories, they come for a better life for themselves, for their children. But I think what's unique of Italians is that we are proud of our heritage, our culture. We do need to promote positive.
As everybody should be.
Right, as everyone should be. But Italians get a bad reputation all over the country.
Right, the portrayal is
all the bad stuff
Right.
makes the news, but on Liquid Lunch, we talk about the good stuff.
And there
we
is
have
so
the great
much good
guests,
stuff,
like
right?
Lisa Biancardi. There's so much good
Yeah.
stuff.
So much good stuff.
We like to highlight great things. And you
Speaking of
guys-
bocce, though, John, there's actually, if anybody in the New York area, there's a huge bocce tournament on Sunday, June 23rd, that there's still a couple of spaces available for, and it goes to preserve these very same cultural preservation programs that Gina's been talking about. Just go to Casa Belvedere's website.
I'm going to be there. We're going to have a team down there looking to win
It's
the
a lot of fun.
Casa Belvedere
Playing
title.
bocce
I know my
is a
friend
lot
Joe
of fun.
And a
Pastore
lot
is
of
going to
great
have a
food.
team down
A
there.
lot of great
We're going to
food.
roll them balls, and we are going to make bocce great again